What's up and welcome to a brand new edition of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct once again from the Stars Studio V here at the Wanatama Shopping Centre in PJ, of course. My name's Nelsen, and back with me once again is the evergreen Shebby Singh. Good to see you again, man.
I like that word, evergreen.
Yeah, and his t-shirt matches the evergreen as well today. And I'd like to welcome a new addition to our team, Ian Yee, who's also a Rage reporter and, you know, a loyal Man United fan, as you can see from the jersey he's wearing.
You couldn't tell.
Good to have you with us, Ian.
Just another shirt.
And I tell you what, Football Everyday this time around will also feature a couple of new things, which I'll tell you a little bit more about just before the end of the show. But moving straight into the football chat and banter, first things first. Sheps, looking at the big picture, do you think it's going to be down to the big four once again? I mean, has any transfer in particular caught your eye?
No, not at all. I think it's going to be the big four still. I don't think Manchester City will be ready to challenge. I mean, they will put in a challenge, but I don't think they'll be good enough for that. I don't think Everton are going to get any better. I don't think Aston Villa are going to get any better. So pretty much, I mean, Spurs will once again flatter to deceive. So pretty much, you know, it's the big four once again.
Right, I mean, Ian, we'll get to Man United a little bit later on, right? But what do you think of Chelsea and their chances under Carlo Ancelotti?
I think if there's anybody that can challenge Manchester United, it should be Chelsea. I think Liverpool played their best football last season. It's hard to see them improving on that, especially since Xabi Alonso is gone.
Right,
I thought he was brilliant next to Mascherano in midfield. So that's going to be a big loss for them. So I think Chelsea has a really good chance. I think the only team that could push them probably be maybe Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal, don't forget, they have some good players coming back in. They have Eduardo coming back to full fitness. They have Rosicky coming back. So probably those teams. But Chelsea, I think they have a good chance. Really, they do.
Right, I mean, we'll get a bit more into Chelsea just a little later on in the show. But Sheps, your assessment of Mr. Darrell Go's beloved Liverpool. I mean, what do you think of their chances this season? Ian mentioned Liverpool, you know, they've lost Xabi Alonso. And Benitez has come out and said that, look, it's hard to compete, right, with a lack of funds.
I think it took Rafa a long time, you know, to find the right combination, to find the right system of play. And when he's gotten it right, unfortunately, he was not good enough to win the title. And now he's lost a very, very important player. In my opinion, Liverpool's most influential player in Xabi Alonso. Is he going to change his formation? I mean, he played with a 4-2-3-1, you know, allowing Gerrard the freedom of playing behind Fernando Torres. You know, he's going to have to find a replacement for Alonso, which is never going to be easy. I don't think they are any much better than they were. I still think, you know, in defensive positions they can be quite weak. So I don't see them challenging for the title this time. I'm sorry, Daryl, but I think, you know, I think last season was their peak.
Right. I mean, can Aquilani fill Alonso's boots, do you think?
No, number one is he's not an Alonso kind of player.
Right.
Just like when Michael Carrick went to Manchester United, they said he's Roy Keane's replacement. No, they're totally different kind of players.
Right? Yeah.
Aquilani is an attacking player. He's more like a Benayoun, a Dirk Kuyt, you know, more like a Riera, where he loves to get forward. Not very strong physically, so that would be interesting to see how he copes with the demands of the Premier League. So he's not. I think never compare him with Alonso because he's not that kind of player.
Okay, quick one on Arsenal, Sheps. Ian mentioned Arsenal as well. I mean, they've lost two big names, mind you.
I mean, I look at that midfield, right? If everybody is fit, you know, you've got Rosicky on the right, Nasri on the left, you've got Fabregas and Arshavin, and you know, you play a defensive midfielder behind them in a 4-1-4-1 with Eduardo or Van Persie up front, they'd be awesome.
Theo Walcott.
Theo Walcott's another one, but which means that they'd be great going forward if they had all their players fit and running. But defensively, I think that was the weakness last season. It will continue likewise again.
But I mean, realistically, do you see Arsenal stepping it up this season, you know, doing better than what they did last season? I mean, challenging United, Liverpool, Chelsea for the title, you know, and not just the Champions League qualification spot, you know? I
mean, they will not be challenging for the title. I don't think so. I think there's a lot made up of about Arsenal's young players, you know. The important thing was to see that the young players, they progress from the age of 17 to 21, 22, they progressed extremely well. And then progress stopped because you look at the Nelsen, hasn't gotten any better, Song's not gotten any better, Diaby hasn't gotten any better, Eboué, you know, has just gone backwards. So let's not talk about their young players anymore. It's the experienced players who are going to have to shoulder the responsibility.
All right, great stuff, guys. But it is time for a short little break right here on Football Everyday. But we'll be right back before you know it, so keep it locked on. Welcome back to Football Everyday here in the second segment of today's show. Just before this, of course, we were talking about title contenders for the upcoming season, and how can you leave out the defending champions, Man United? I mean, Ian's like really all, eagerly waiting to comment on United. I mean, Ian, I got to ask you this then. What's your take on the replacements United have brought in? To replace Ronaldo and Tevez, people like Valencia, Owen, Obertan.
Yeah, I don't think that they are actually like-for-like replacements at all. I think the players that Ferguson has brought in, he's going to shuffle his pack, he's going to change things around. They're not going to play the same formation anymore. I think it's going to be a strict 4-4-2, 2 wingers, 2 strikers. So whether they're like-for-like replacements, I don't think so. I think Owen is a much more intelligent player than Tevez. Tevez was much of a grafter, and Owen doesn't do that anymore. You saw last season in Newcastle, he just weren't making those runs that he used to do.
Yeah.
Getting stuck in those important areas in the 6-yard area. So he's going to change the style. It's going to be more, you're going to see more crosses coming in from the wings, and he's going to expect people like Owen, Berbatov and Rooney to be picking up the pieces.
It's going to be like the Ferguson's fox in the box, yeah?
Oh yeah, I think, ever since Ruud van Nistelrooy left Manchester United, they've needed somebody just sit in the penalty box, and finish off the chances. Ian's, hit the nail on the head. Tevez was a grafter. You can find them, everywhere. But a goal poacher is somebody, who is born. He's not made. He's born, and that's what Michael Owen will give you. They will be stronger as a team. Valencia will give you more defensively.
Right.
I mean, if you have Park on one side, Valencia on the other side, you've got 2 of the hardest working midfielders anywhere in football right
definitely.
now. So they will be more workmanlike. Might lack a little bit of flair. But I think the structure that they have in place, the defense is very, very solid, and everybody has to fit into that structure, which is something that Man United, traditionally are famous for. And I think Man United will still be the team to beat. Whoever finishes above them will be champions.
Okay, I'm going to ask you very quickly, Shebby. Can United defend the trophies they won last season, you think?
I would love to see them defend the league title. I think it's 18 all now in the top flight, English top flight with Liverpool. I think Man United has the ability to win that one title, to break away. I think in Europe there'll be a threat. Like I said, I mean there'll be more teamwork, there'll be more workmanlike, which will make it even more difficult to beat them. And with Sir Alex Ferguson and his cunning, and his tactics, you cannot say Man United will not win anything.
Okay, and I tell you what, if the Community Shield last weekend was anything to go by, Shebs and Ian, it might be really tight between Chelsea and United, right? As we all know, as not much separated the two, right? I mean, Shebs, very quickly, were Arsenal deserved winners? Sorry, were Chelsea deserved winners?
I think, when you look at the football, I thought it was pretty much even. Man United were the better team in the first half.
Yeah.
Chelsea was stronger in the second half once they sorted their midfield problems out. I don't think that... I always feel that Man United will always score more goals than Chelsea.
I hope so.
I mean, they've won the Charity Shield, the Community Shield rather. Good luck to them. But the league, it's a totally different ball game.
Okay, more importantly, Shebs, I think, we all agree. What do you think of the refereeing standard in that match? I mean, look, teams are going to be in for a long season, right? If they're going to be faced with that kind of inconsistent refereeing.
I mean, let's face
Surely.
it, right? The last 2 seasons in the Premier League, the season before last, I did come out and say that was the worst ever season for refereeing or refereeing standards. Last season was no better.
Yeah.
And why? In the very first game, even though it's a Community Shield, we've seen the referee who is so inconsistent.
Exactly.
And I think that will set the tone once again. I don't think referees have the mental strength to deal with the glare of the media, because you're not hated by 40,000 anymore, you're hated by billions around the world. If you make one mistake, can the referees handle that? I don't think so, because they are making schoolboy errors on the pitch.
Right, I mean, so Ian, you agree with Shebs that the refereeing is going to be another big bone of contention again throughout the season?
Yeah, I think in a way, talking about the media glare, there's so much scrutiny around the world now. Everybody's getting online, talking and discussing things.
Right.
So a lot of grey areas are popping out. I think some of it even gets to the heads of the referees. And that's where you have a problem where there's so much pressure on them and they start to make these schoolboy errors. It really is a problem in football.
All right, super stuff, guys. But it is time for yet another break here on Football Everyday. But do stay tuned, as we'll be back before you know it with segment 2. And you're back with us here on the third and final segment of Football Everyday. You know, refereeing standards aside, guys, it is time now to dissect this weekend's tasty opening fixtures. I tell you, starting with Everton versus Arsenal at Goodison Park. Shebs, got to start with you. Will Adebayo be missed, you think?
I don't think so. I think I don't think
Straightforward answer.
I don't think he's the Dennis Bergkamp or a Thierry Henry that Arsenal are going to miss him. I don't think he ever hit or rather acquired that kind of status. I don't think he was that influential. But it's a big season for David Moyes. I mean, there's no money. He's about to lose perhaps one of his best defenders in Lescott. Maybe it's time for him to move on from the club. I think he's taken them as far as he can. What are his ambitions? So a big season, but I still feel that Everton, with their work ethics, will come out there, will make it difficult for Arsenal. A point apiece.
So it's going to be a draw.
Yeah,
1-1,
I'm going to go with a score draw.
Score draw. Yeah. All right, let's head to Old Trafford where, my man Ian here, defending champions United, Ian, we all know, welcome newly promoted Birmingham. Ian, surely Fergie expects nothing less than 3 points.
How many goals?
It's just about, how many goals, right? Yeah, maybe he'll play Owen, yeah, maybe it's just like, go see how many goals you can get. But yeah, I expect it to be a comfortable win. But honestly, I don't know much about Birmingham. I don't know how much they've improved since the last time they were in the Premier League. But I just can't see United losing at home.
I mean, quick score prediction from you?
I think it'll be 2 or 3-0. Like Shebby said earlier, unless Foster plays, then you'll never know. You'll never know what's going to happen.
All right, heading over now to White Hart Lane, Shebby, I tell you, he's really excited about this because they welcome Rafa Benitez's Liverpool. Spurs, Liverpool. Can Spurs get a result or even maybe win the game?
I think there's every chance of Spurs winning the game. I'm not saying it because I'm a Spurs fan. I think genuinely, this time, I think Harry's got no excuses left. He's got the players he's wanted. They've been given time now. They've come together as a team. I think Palacios, Luka Modric are looking good.
Yep.
Keane, Defoe, Crouch. There's plenty of motivation in that team. Yes, in central defensive positions, we might lack a little bit.
But they brought in Basong, right?
So I don't see any reason why Spurs cannot beat Liverpool. And I think it's very important for Harry to get that first win, to make a statement against a team like Liverpool.
So you're putting your money on a former Reds boy, Peter Crouch, to put one over his own club?
Defoe, Crouch, they all keen, they're all good goal scorers. Which means now with Crouch there is an option as well.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Spurs. I'll be very disappointed if Spurs doesn't win this game.
I actually agree with you, but Ian, you agree with Shebs and I mean, Spurs to beat Liverpool?
I think Liverpool have been playing some of the best football in Europe. They've been playing some very, very good football over the last season. So if Gerrard and Torres are fit, it's hard to see any team beating them because on their day, Gerrard and Torres can tear apart any defense. So I still think it's a bit on Liverpool's side if Gerrard can get that groin injury done with.
So you think Liverpool is going to win at Spurs then?
I think so.
Okay, great stuff, guys. But we're nearing the end of the show. But just before we say goodbye, I'd just like to remind all our viewers out there that starting next week, we'll be reading out the Football Everyday email of the week. So if you'd like to write to us, please do so at football@thestar.com.my. Also, before the end of each show, we'll have a quick Football Everyday fun fact, for you guys about anything and anyone related to football, even Shebby Singh. Shebs and Ian, lots of football coming our way, I tell you, so we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for coming. But this Friday, guys, another reminder, do look out for the special EPL pull-out every Friday, and our TikTok column will be there as well. So it starts this Friday, so that's what you want to check out. In the meantime, that's it from us here on Football Everyday. Enjoy your football, and we'll see you next week.